The topic of the seminar for today is career opportunities in insurance sector. And to present this, we have just three renowned professionals. First of all is Mr. Bharat Ram, who is the founder, CEO and CC of Veda Editech Private Limited, Mumbai. Mr. Bharat has 17 years of industry experience from 1996 to 2013. As a project leader in Tech, as management consultant in Michigan Economic Development Agency, Apple Life Incorporation, as senior business analyst in Progressive Insurance, as senior consultant in Deloitte Consulting, and as vice president in Tata AIG General Insurance. We are honored to have you here, sir.
Also, we have with us a generalist with specialized qualifications in actuarial, finance and econometrics, statistics and financial planning, and with 17 years of professional experience. Kindly allow me to welcome Mr. Gopal Kumar. Mr. Gopal Kumar has worked as Program Officer in Insurance, Banking and Capital Market Division in Asset as lecturer in the area of finance and quantitative techniques with Institute of Technology and Science from 1998 to 2001. As a business journalist with the Financial Express, the Indian Express Group Mumbai and United News of India from 2001 to 2004. From 2004 to 2010 in the Actuary Department and Life Profit Center in Tata AIG Life Insurance Company Limited. And from December 2010, he is currently working as a principal consultant with A-Law Insurance Research and Consultants Private Limited. He, along with three partners, have floated three companies, namely Center for Economic and Social Inclusion Private Limited, Trans-Valley Consultants and Single Associates. Also, we have with us Mr. Saket Singhal. He has a work experience with over 18 years in investment, life insurance and pension domains. Started his career by floating company Braincell in Delhi, heading the reinsurance team in HDFC Standard Life in Mumbai. Headed the West India benefit practice at Watson Wyatt, headed the investment strategies and actuarial finance teams at Paternoster and Mumbai, then took up the role as Vice President Actuarial at HSBC in 2008. In 2010, he joined Aon Hewitt as practice leader. Currently acting as appointed actuarial and consulting basis for Tata AIG General Insurance Company Limited. Now we request the place from chairperson Mr. A.K. Chatterjee.
Hello. And good afternoon. The thing is, we all need to understand together the need of law. It is hardly from few months away before companies start coming and the recruitment process starts, recruitment process starts. So that seriousness, see, me being serious will not help you. Not at all. Me being serious about your future will not help you at all. Zero. Till that seriousness is from your end. It is you whose future is at stake, not mine. मैं पहले ही बोल दिया हूँ that my life is over. मुझे जो करना था मैंने कर लिया. अभी मेरे लिए एक assignment है, and I'm trying to drive it to the best of my ability. But seriousness has to come from students. Why I am trying to remind you that the very number speaks again. The assembled number speaks how serious you are. See, nothing. MBA nowadays is zero in the market. Zero value. Zero. Zero, you want to say zero value, unless the person holding that MBA qualification can really prove to the companies which are coming here to interview that he can add value to the organization. This qualification that is that you are going back from IMT is zero. It is zero value in today's tough market. So let us all, all of you are addressing now. And I keep telling all of you are not my students who are not opted for the subject that I am teaching, so you may not have heard me. But those who are there, a few faces I can see who are there in my class, they know. Every class I am trying to impress upon you that differentiation is the name of the game in today's world. In my 10, 30 years back, my MBA was good enough to see me through and I have seen my life through. But for you, differentiation is the name of the game. So this is why such courses or such eminent people have come from insurance industry from finance industry. I mean, immense. I was just talking to Mr. Gopal, Mr. Saket, Mr. Bharat. They all have powerhouse of experience and knowledge. And insurance, risk management, these differentiate you from the other MBAs, which are those other 2.5 lakhs MBAs who are going to hit the market this year with their degree with you, with their formal qualification or the piece of paper with you. So, these things, these little things will add up and will differentiate you from the other 2.5 lakhs MBAs. Out of them, even if you look at the rating of the colleges, about 5,000 more will be, or 10,000 more will be even that way. That formal ranking wise also, they are supposed to be, or they are perceived in the eyes of corporate will be better than you. Perceived. That is true. I know that they all are not better. All of them may not be better than all of you. But then they are perceived to be better, and perception matters. So to neutralize all this impact, first of all, there is general depression in the market, which is still on. Companies, they are coming, last year about 60 companies came, 19 of them were empty-handed, and per capita offtake was not more than 2, 3 each. So very dismal scenario we all are in actually. We are in very dismal scenario in the sense, it is not to discourage you, but to encourage you to stretch a bit. To stretch a bit more, to walk that extra mile, which might not have been required had the situation been what it was prior to 2008 crisis. After that 2000, that Lehman Brothers and all it failed, and after that the crisis and the ripple effects, their after effects are still there. So, till all of you are serious, none of us, all these eminent people from industry, all the eminent faculty who are here, which I strongly believe one of the best faculty in India. I mean, any B school put together. Marketing area, other areas, but all will fail. Nothing will work till you are ready. Till you are ready. Till you understand the seriousness. And let me impress upon you that this insurance sector, as you look at it, that just going door to door and selling insurance, it is not at all that. I keep telling every class, had it been like that, do you feel that IIM Ahmedabad graduate will ever work in an insurance industry? Any insurance company, or IMT, or IITs? So there is something more than merely door-to-door sales in insurance industry. Lot of growth prospect, lot of job opportunities, and maybe entry could be in any form. It doesn't matter where you start from. What matters is where you are going. So, entry level guy, we all know since childhood my grandmother used to tell me the story of that traveler and that camel. So that camel just asked for the nose to be. So corporate sector is like that. You need to know the art of that camel. That first let me just put my nose inside the tent, it is very cold outside. And the traveler ultimately was outside and the camel was inside the tent. So that camel-like behavior has to be shown by young MBAs. You cannot enter your whole body into the tent and the first place. Like corner room is not waiting for you. The secretary with a card is not waiting for you. What is waiting for you in the corporate is grassroots hard work. You have to go through the grind and only then and give yourself time, 5 to 10 years time to grow. It is not that from day one the sun will shine on you. Nothing, no politician under the sun can. My father got into an IAS job and he worked in block for initial years on probation. Bank POs they join, they work, and the army officers they join and they are made to run for myself, I have undergone that training. But I am trying to impress upon you, even the person who is going to be general, he does not become general from day one. The person who is going to be chief secretary does not sit with the next chief minister from day one. So this is the beginning phase of your life. Please be very serious, be very practical, put your ground on the feet, put your feet on the ground rather, not ground on the foot. Put your foot on the ground and then feet. Don't stop living in fool's paradise. That since I am an engineer, dream of blah blah blah, doing the MBA from IMT, plum jobs are waiting for me. No, unless it is your father's company. The professional organization is not going to offer you a plum job from day one. And our choices are also very limited. You don't have any choice in fact. If you really want the job and don't want to meet the fate wherein all companies have come and gone, and then finally you run after my पैर दूंगा, कोई फायदा नहीं होगा. Your seniors have done that. Once the time is over, it is gone. Opportunity lost. So please listen to them seriously. They will share a lot of information. And what I'm trying to tell you, that why this is important, because the proposed course, I am very excited about the course they are proposing. Because this will immediately differentiate one more thing to be told to the corporate. Give them one more reason to select you. Not only in insurance sector, even manufacturing, they will tell you, experts will tell you, even manufacturing sector gives weightage to people who have exposure in some form to insurance or risk management. Even manufacturing concerns, engineering concerns, they give weightage. So this will give you one more reason in your CV. You will have one more reason in your CV to tell the potential employer who are far and between, okay, that please take me instead of those other 2.5 lakh students who are finishing their MBA from different colleges in India. Understand what I'm trying to tell you? Leverage all everything that you have in hand. Utilize every single opportunity, and a great opportunity is in hand already. So without question, I just wanted to impress it upon you. So first of all, I also wanted to see the kind of number which is here. It will not be a cakewalk unless we equip ourselves in all respects, and everything that you have sound down. I also know insurance. I was exposed. I attended my course, a course in that, and faculty were from the industry itself, having vast experience in the field. Immediately the potential employer will get impressed. So look at this course as one more reason getting added to your profile to get selected in this very, very, very tough scenario where all companies are shut their doors. Those of you who are visiting market or know, like me, I was in Bombay last week. I know how tough it is to get an appointment with their HR staff. Nobody is interested to speak. Their requirement is very, very minimal. So in this scenario, I will further. But please take it, listen to them carefully, and look at it as a golden another opportunity for you. Another opportunity for you to add to your CV one more dimension. Probably that might become the differentiating factor when the selection time comes. Who knows? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Before we proceed further, I would like to call upon Professor T.K. Chatterjee, Professor Shandil Kumar, and Professor Panigari to hand over the bouquet back to the guests. Good morning, friends. How are you? Okay, thanks for. I have not been knighted yet by the British government. So my name is Bharat. Not yet been knighted this well. So you can call me Bharat. Okay. So Professor Chatterjee, thank you for laying the ground over here. Now, obviously, he has a perspective which I don't have. He has a perspective of how strong your batch is and how many people have showed up. So I was just doing a rough math. Probably about 80 to 100 of you is good for us. I think what tells me is that at least you, either by force or by your own volition, have chosen to attend our lecture over here. So I think kudos to you. So I think you should give a round of applause to yourself. Alright, so I've been a debater in college, and by the way, I went to college in Nagpur, so this is homecoming for me. Went to college in IMT over here many years back. So probably not years, I'm lying, a decade or more back.
But it's good to see, because I was instantly sensing that I'm sitting on that side and thinking from your minds, including looking at people who were, scribbling notes, passing to each other. Reminded me of my engineering days when I used to basically, with my good friend, we both were very good in maths, and we would not listen to the lecture, but we would basically crack puzzles to see who would be faster. Right? So at times I would beat him, at times he would beat me. So I think that's a fun part of education that you guys have to kind of continue. But at the same time, remember, I think the words of wisdom that people like Professor Chatterjee tell you, even though it might sound pedantic, will hit you down the line, right? So I think there are some words of wisdom that you have to make note of, which is obviously, I think your individual smartness, brilliance, effort, etc. will all help you. I don't think it's a liability, it's an asset. But your asset is going to be compounded several more if you attend your classes, you take advantage of opportunities that an institute like IMT provides, such as these, to understand what's really out there. What's really out there for me. And lo and behold, one fine day you might find your calling. I was just being accosted over here by one of your colleagues, your student friends, who did his internship at duty-free shop in Mumbai International. I'm not calling that person, maybe you know who he is. Fascinating. I mean, I always used to see duty-free shop while going to the airport, but I didn't realize that a student from over here would have done an internship over there. Definitely didn't exist in my time. And not too old, I'm still young at heart, right? But yes, about 16, 17 years back, definitely that was not one of the options. So I think the good part is you have options for that before you. And you can do an internship. If you asked him, are you going back for a full-time job? It somewhat sounded like, maybe they're not getting you or something, or maybe he's not choosing that. That really is, it's a quick procure. I mean, the world is fair. I think it's as much as your choice as the company's choice to pick you. But I think what we'll try to do in the next hour or so is help you understand what will increase your probability of success when you really kind of hit the ground over there. You are in a cocoon right now, right? An institute offers you the privilege of being protected from the world out there. And that doesn't mean that it's a big bad world out there, but the reality is different. I think you have to basically prep yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, academically to kind of hit the ground running when the moment you walk out from the 4 pillars of the right? Okay, so with that ado, and I like to kind of speak so I can see my entire body, so that way I communicate, so I take the help of the lector as and when possible. But besides the quick introduction that was given of us, I'll tell you something about ourselves, so you get a perspective of where we're coming from and what we hope to achieve in this 45 minutes to an hour of discussion over here. And please feel free to raise your hands and ask questions. Even if you don't ask questions, there'll be one person at least, or maybe 3 people who will ask questions. I'm definitely going to ask you questions. Right? Because that will help me level set your understanding of what I'm saying, what we are talking about. So my name is Bharat. I was recently with the Tata Group. I was heading strategic planning for them. Prior to that, I was heading a business unit. I've been in the US for about 11, 12 years, mostly working for insurance companies like AIG, Progressive and all that over there. And then I worked for 4 years in the telecom sector, but primarily in the insurance industry. And did I choose to be in the insurance industry? No. Absolutely no. Right? I got my MBA from the US, and insurance was never in my dictionary of joining as a company. I accidentally stumbled into insurance. How? So I graduated from my MBA in 2002, and if people know, back then in 2002, was after 9/11 in the US was the worst time for graduates, postgraduates. So I had a loan of $85,000 and no job. 50% of the graduating class had no job. And I did my MBA from Ross in Michigan. And it was usual for people before me to get 3 to 4 jobs, investment banking, consulting firms. I did my internship in Deloitte Consulting, in Wall Street, and I thought, great, the sky is, in my feet, because Strategy was talking about the feet on the ground. I thought the sky was already under my feet. And then the world came crashing down. So I don't want to belabor the point of what I did after that, but through some references, through some network, I stumbled into a company called Progressive Insurance over there, and I still continue to be the insurance sector. Why? Because I absolutely love it. Love the industry. If the engineers among you, one of them, coming from an engineering background, I love the industry because it's completely data-oriented. It requires a lot of analytical horsepower. If you have it, you will love it. If you like numbers, if you have an affinity for numbers, insurance is about numbers. And of course, it's about many other things, but it also is about numbers. So you will love it. Insurance is about, for the commerce guys, it's about an ecosystem of putting together several different aspects to make it work. Insurance is not just the LIC agent who's selling the insurance policy. It has as much to do with actuaries like Saket and Gopal who price the products, to develop the product. It is about the marketing people to research the needs of the consumer and take those insights into the drawing board, sit with the actuaries and the underwriters to develop the product. It is as much to do with people who understand what the concept of risk, underwriters, and the risk managers. Now, what if the ceiling were to come down tomorrow? How many lives are sitting over here? I mean, God forbid that, but how many lives would have Uttarakhand? I mean, just look at the irony of Uttarakhand. Did anybody predict the magnitude of the calamity that hit? Who would have predicted it? The risk managers associated with the insurance industry would have definitely predicted it. And they would have priced it. They would have essentially said, we cover this. If we cover it, this is the price we take. So that's the role of the underwriters. It is as much to do with the IT, the information technology people, who basically have to operationalize, release these products out in the marketplace. It is as much to do with operational people who actually deal with the processing. It's to do with the claims people who settle claims. And I'm sure many of you, or some of you at least, would have had some instances in your family or extended family of people having a motor claim or a health claim or a life claim or something like that. It is to do with the legal fraternity who have to make sure, because insurance at the end of the day, there's no product. There's no product for insurance industry. It's a promise. You're paying a sum of money upfront, called the premium, for a promise with the insurance company that they will protect you in the future. And the promise is manifested in the contract. Anyway, so we'll go through all of that, but the interesting thing is there's a lot under the sky. I mean, for the science people, they like some aspects of the insurance industry. For math jobs, they like something. For commerce, they like something, and so on and so forth. So I think we'll get into a little bit of that further, but so that's my background in terms of what I've done and how I stumbled into insurance, and I hope that many of you will, with this education, still choose to stumble into insurance, because I think it's a fascinating industry. I've not been out of it, I don't think I'll be out of it. Right? So Saket over here is a pricer, right? What does an actuary mean? Insurance as an industry is the only industry where cost of goods sold is known post facto. If you're manufacturing a soap, you know what goes as a cost in the manufacture of soap, your labor, your raw materials, etc. You know the cost. You apply the profit on top of it and you price the product. For insurance, you are paying the premium upfront for what? For the cost which is known as claim that can happen later on. And the happening of that is a probability. All of that gets factored by actuaries like Saket and Saket and Gopal together have, besides being actuaries, have worked with the Ministry of Finance, with a couple of other companies, including RAIG, some life insurance companies, and that's our background. So we are industry jobs, but obviously, I think what we hope to achieve via this discussion over here and down the line in front of the course is to make it absolutely practical, to translate some of the academic concepts into practical insights into what will make you better food soldiers when you go out and take up a sales job or an underwriting job or a pricing job or a marketing research job or an IT kind of manager job or whatnot. Right? Alright, so this was something that was completely unplanned. I just thought that this one I should talk about it because it just felt like the ambulance was something that I should have. Right? I think what we'll do is we will start with just some facets of our presentation. And Gopal will kick off by talking about something broad about the career, about the insurance industry, and what comprises the insurance industry, why, and then we'll talk about the life insurance industry, general insurance industry, so to make up the lay of the land, and Saket will pitch in. And then obviously, feel free to ask any questions that you have in the course of this.
We'll not talk actually, we'll interact.
About insurance, what is the prospects in insurance industry, and what are the options available for me in insurance sector as a finance sector?
What's your name? Pritiman. Yeah. What do you expect from this session? Okay. They want to know about the insurance sector and career opportunity. Anything else you want to know from this session? Any other expectations you have? Yeah.
Skills required to be in insurance.
Why?
Skills required.
Okay. That I think you have. Don't worry. Which you are facing now, at this stage of your life. Any one of you. I don't believe in monologue. That is my problem actually. So you will have to help me out. Yeah. 3 risks which you are facing at this stage of your life. Any one of you. You all are risk free, don't have any risk. Huh? Huh? Paying off the bank credit. Very important risk.
I can teach you something about that.
Right? Very good point. Any other risk? Job. Risk of unemployment. Credit. We can note it down. Right? Second was risk of unemployment. Right? Any other risk? Life risk. Right. Who is affected by the way? At this stage, you have any dependents? So you have any dependents? If you are not there, or means who will get affected financially? Parents will be affected. So, risk of death. Okay. Any other risk? Time. Loss of opportunity. Right. Opportunity cost, I think. Right. Any other risk? No other risk. Do you know who can help you in these conditions? Only insurance companies.
Okay, and I will pay you 1 lakh rupees for 1 month after your exams in next April. If you don't get a job, maximum for 6 months. How many of you will be ready to take that box?
Alright, by the way, this is a trick question. It will also tell you how confident you are to get a job.
Those who have raised hands without doing any calculation, please don't join insurance industry. It's very risky for you and as well as the company you will be working for.
So that's another good thing. But firstly, how many of you will think about taking that insurance cover? So nobody. So everybody. How many? Please raise your hands. Nobody. So everybody is confident that by the end of next April, everybody will get a job.
Actually, they are a good portfolio for insurance companies. You will have 0 losses, so will be profitable, provided you pay the money.
Yeah.
Okay, if I give you that, okay, I will charge a premium of say 10,000 rupees, wherein I will pay you claim of 1 lakh rupees per month, maximum for 6 months after April 1st. How many of you will take the insurance policy?
Saket works for the Ministry of Finance, so he has the money, by the way.
And proposal forms are there, you can scan.
So basically, around 30-40% of the people are ready to buy the insurance cover if I charge you 10,000 rupees in lieu of 1 lakh rupees per month for maximum of 6 months, right? So basically, that's the price, right? So first job in any insurance company is identification of the product. So herein I am identifying one product which can be unemployment insurance, and the second job in any insurance company is to price that product. So if I am pricing 10,000, I am pricing it based on certain market data which I get here.
So what we are trying to tell you that insurance is part of our life. You cannot do away with that. You may hate your insurance agent, but you cannot hate insurance. Am I clear to you? Right? How many of you have bought insurance? Or any kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Who is paying the premium, by the way? So, you have not taken the policy. Someone else is paying. How many of you are paying the premium? No one. You are paying. You are paying. Okay. So, similar is the situation of this country. The insurance penetration is very low. Huge potential, right? By ASSOCHAM survey, I think by 2050, the industry will be 15 times from what we have. Simple reason why it will grow. 3 reasons I tell you. One is that, if you see the insurance density, for life it is 4.75% and for general it is how much? 0.75%. More than 50% of the people don't have life insurance, right? Economy is growing, people have a lot of money, right? So where this money will go? We go to investment, financial investments, and insurance companies will also provide avenues for financial investments. So ultimately this industry has to grow. See, there is a very direct correlation between industrial growth and insurance. When you do business, you have a lot of risk in your business. As you are studying, the risk which you can identify and credit. This is what? Credit risk. If you start your business, you can take a loan from a bank, right? If you default, you know what will happen? There is one Credit Guarantee Corporation of India who sells that policy to the bank, to the lender, and bank, right, charges premium to you and you pay that premium through bank to that insurance company. And that is how it is protected.
Right. So, as Gopal has mentioned, as Gopal has asked initially, how many of you have got the insurance policy? If you have taken a bank loan, then that person will definitely be having one insurance policy. Whether you are paying premium directly or indirectly, that is another question. Whether that premium is built up into your interest rate, that is another thing. But the people who have taken loan must be having an insurance policy, whether you are aware of that or not.
So I'll take a quick segue and just get your attention to the slide over here. So just put in perspective what Saket and Gopal have been telling you. Right? So there's robust growth in the insurance industry. Despite the doom and gloom in the economy which Professor Chatterjee was mentioning, I think that's a fact, it's a reality. He was not trying to just scare you out of your wits. The insurance industry is one industry that's holding its ground, and obviously within the life and the non-life and the health insurance sectors, there's a variance. Life insurance industry is growing for about 8 to 10%. The general insurance industry, we'll talk about what these industries stand for, is still growing at about 20 to 25%. Health insurance is the fastest growing because there's a lot of unmet need, which is your the increasing. Why is there an unmet need? Because the disposable income is still going up. It's not that the entire the country's GDP is stopped and come to a standstill. So there is still a lot of activity in the tier B, tier C towns, in the rural parts. Farmers are making some amount of money and all that. So that is the disposable income as it goes up, and as the risk awareness goes up, and the scope for losses goes up, the sale of insurance products increase, and therefore that means the insurance penetration can go up. But still, from a numbers perspective, what is India's GDP in dollar terms? Sorry? Say it aloud. What is the absolute GDP value in dollar terms for India? Somebody said the number. 1.8 billion? Trillion. Thank you. So it's about 1.8 trillion, right? So of that 1.8 trillion, the non-life, which is the general insurance sector, contributes about 0.7%, minuscule, about 60-70,000 crores. And the life insurance is about 4.5%, right? About 4 to 5 times of that. So where is 1.8 trillion? And how does that compare to the Western markets? US, for example, is insurance is 5 to 6%, non-life is 5 to 6%. So you see the upside over here. Is it going to ebb and stop? No. India as a country is directionally going towards the Western markets in terms of insurance penetration. So the growth is organic. What a good economy will do is make it even more accelerated. So that's, I think, so what that means for people like you is qualified people who can understand, appreciate, and have the aptitude to work in an insurance industry will be in demand. It's a matter of knowing what those areas are, how to tap it, be adequately trained in an institution like this, and then when going out to the, and hopefully before going out, having the companies over here who you can basically position yourself, and then you know exactly what you want to do, depending on what your qualification and interest is.
Right. So we are just setting the context for what we talk now. Right. So let's start with the first slide. The thing is that you list.
I know how to go forward. I don't know how to go backward.
You are in a job. You are looking for a job or career. How many of you are looking for a career from here? Raise your hand, please. And job? No one. Mr. Chatterjee, your job is very easy. Nobody looks at this.
Yeah. So there's no credit risk. No
Career you can find anywhere, boss. What is the problem? You are a very lucky person there. Nobody wants job. Nobody wants job. Nobody wants job. You wanted a career also.
I want a job that will support my career.
He wants a job that will support his career. What is the meaning? What's your name, sir? Mayank. What is the difference? Any idea?
So, job is a very short-term aspect of a career. Career is a very long-term aspect. If a person is looking out on a career and if he has to choose a job, then he should go for a very similar industry. Say insurance, then he should look for a job in a company like Tata AIG or say ICICI Lombard or HDFC Ergo. He should be doing the same very work. So this is the difference between
Very good. I like it answer. So the difference between job and a career is that job plus life plus learning is career. GLM. Anyone can give you a job, but everybody can't guarantee you a career. So the difference is that when you have life means you can live your life the way you want. Right? If you can see work-life balance, you can have continuous learning, right? At the same time you are doing the job that is career. The difference between career and job is like, you must have read in physics, scalar quantity and vector quantity. Do you remember? What is the difference? One has got only quantity and other one has got quantity and direction. So career gives you direction. Job gives you what? Salary. But won't give you happiness. Right? That is job. Job is job you are doing for somebody else's happiness. Career is where you are balancing your happiness with the employer's happiness. Career means you are taking care of all the stakeholders of the company you are working for. Right? Is that clear? Any confusion? Right? So you are looking for a career, right? How to choose your right career? Any answer? Yeah. How to choose the right career? The right career. Any idea? I'll tell you a very simple technique. You do that exercise, right? You'll find answer. you'll find out. How did you decide that you want to do MBA? Is this your life goal to do an MBA? What for you are here? What is the objective? Why you have joined IMT? Right, it's a means. It's not an end. It's a means to achieve something else. Right? This is that MBA means to achieve something else. Right? So, I have one acronym for the factors which you should consider while choosing a career. That is simple. S is skill sets which you have. You analyze that. S stands for skill. I is what? Interest. M, your motivation and values. M stands for motivation and values. Then you have P. P for what? Personality. What kind of personality you have? I have heard from many people they don't want to join sales. It has to do with their personality. Right? It's fine. If you don't want to do sales, it's fine. Nobody should compel you to do that. Right? But don't take a decision if you don't have full information. That is also equally suicidal. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? Say yes or no. Yes. What I'm trying to tell you. What did I say? And then L and E. L stands for what? Learning, which gives you learning. Sharpen the saw. Career, which gives you opportunity to learn continuously. Right? You should choose that career. And then E is that where it matches with your ethical standards. You assign a score to these 5 factors. Right? Calculate weighted average and make a grade and take a decision. That is the simplest approach I could think of while choosing the right career for you. I think it will help. It will help. It will help. It will help. Yes. Okay. Now tell me, when you say skills, what does it mean? You might not have that certain skills which you require in that particular job. So when I say in simple S stands for skills, means the skills which you can acquire. You may not have that skills at that point in time, but you have the passion to acquire that, to learn that. You love cricket, but at the age of 9 you don't have the potential or you don't have the skills to play for India. It does not mean that you won't be a good cricket player, but you can build on that. Are you getting a point? Right? So that is the meaning of skills. Interest is very important. That is passion. Right? Motivation. There are 2 types of motivators. Extrinsic motivators, intrinsic motivators. Extrinsic, money. Where is the office? In Gurgaon or BKC or Mahakali Caves? That also matters. Or in Nagpur. Right? Or in Pune. Or in Kasara. So that matters. Right? So these are extrinsic motivators. And extrinsic motivators, the biggest extrinsic motivators in your society. How my friends will feel if I join a century? If I join this, what will be the reaction of my boyfriend? Isn't it? Isn't it a factor? Tell me frankly. Yes? These are extrinsic factors. You may join KPMG, but if you don't like the job, you joined it to impress your boyfriend or girlfriend, but if you don't enjoy that, will you get a good career out of that? No. Right? No. So extrinsic factors is important, but more than that, intrinsic factors, your real passion. And I'll tell you a technique to find out what is that. You ask your mom, when you were 5 years old, what did you enjoy the most? That is your passion. Talk to your parents. If you have any video clips, find out. what you did that time, that is your passion. And I found my passion 3 years back. It was late, but I got into that opportunity.
He's just 8 years old, right?
Right? You have to add 30, whatever you say. He's 29, don't add 30 now. Right? So, what you did when you were 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, that is your passion. Do you remember what you did? What you used to like in your childhood? Games. Okay. What about you? Huh? Who liked studying at that point in time? Any one of you? Ask your parents. For some of you will be there like that. You have to do homework on your own, write your own kid. Yes. You are at the right place. Right? So try to find out that, and that will help you to choose your career. Then, now let's do the mapping. What insurance can give you. You have set your career. What do you want to know now? Right? Anybody who has done that quick calculation and tell me the career path? Anyone? No. Okay. So now I tell you, what is the acronym for choosing the right career path? Simple. What is that? Insurance offers you a simple solution. That also is simple. What is S? Huh? Stability. Right? Because it makes your unstable life stable. So it's very stable, isn't it? It gives you stability. No insurance company has ever been bankrupt. And जो भी bankrupt हुए हैं, it's because of the wrong investment decisions, not because of any wrong actuarial decision making or mortality or risk management.
Let them understand why I was looking to me and telling you, because I worked for AIG at that time.
Yes.
Everybody knows AIG?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so September 2008, I was in the US working for AIG, and the situation was so precarious that we were told by our HR not to wear our t-shirts or shirts with the words, with the letters AIG on that. The situation was so bad that it's laughable now, but we were disallowed to use those 3 letters because we were the bane of American society. $185 million in loan. But what Gopal was alluding to was AIG crashed. And by the way, AIG has come back. Do people know that? Yes. It's actually much stronger, much better, much more profitable company now. But at that time, it collapsed because, not because of insurance. Insurance was extremely stable for some reasons that are very technical. But there was a rogue division in London that sold financial products, exotic derivatives. And those derivatives were stacked over a risk, very extremely risky mortgages, right, on loans. And that collapsed like a hospital.
You know what is CDS?
Credit default charge.
So those guys are going to finance it. They are looking at it.
So you have the required skill set. Yeah, so everybody knows CDS?
Yes, he said. So that
What is that?
credit default swaps.
And what is that instrument like? What's the basic of that instrument?
So it's basically the underlying of that is say if I default on a particular option, I have structured an option. Like at that point of time, there was a thing where they designed particular exotic derivatives for lending and to cover that risk in case of the market price of the subprime prices due to subprime price. If the market price of the land or the value of the mortgage, buildings and all, if they crash real estate, insurance company would come in and would pay. Whatever I have read and I perceive is that the insurance company at that point of time thought of that real estate would be there. It would crash that time.
Okay, what's the name? Sir?
Sir,
Okay. So CDS in short is that Abhay has lended me 10,000 rupees. Now he wants to ensure that he gets back his money. He goes to Bharat and he asks Bharat, okay, how much premium will you take to insure me that Saket pays a bit 10,000 rupees? Bharat says that, okay, give me 100 rupees. That's what. So basically, CDS is an insurance contract wherein you insured risk on me through an insurance. So that's the CDS. But what went wrong in CDS? The main thing which led to crashes of BIG, Raymond's, Morgan was that CDS was not treated as an insurance product as such. CDS was treated as the instrument of speculation. So there was less of insurance over there. There were more of speculators over there. Right? So instead of Abhay insuring himself on my risk through Bharat, there were 80 other people who were trading on my risk without even knowing me. Right? So that's the thing which Gopal is trying to do that basically even during the worst of the financial meltdown, insurance companies or the insurance portfolio of the conglomerates were still profit making. It was because of the other things that those companies meltdown.
Right, so one of the important, I'd say, characteristics of insurance industry is that it's very stable. It's very stable, right? Second is that it's very inclusive. You are a doctor or an engineer or a 10th pass or a PhD or an underwriter or a claim expert, you have a role to play in an insurance sector. It's very inclusive. It's a reflection of our society. Everybody can work. And one of the reasons why people hate to join insurance industry is that, there is always confusion. People think any external factor, social self. My insurance industry. Okay. Kitne policy base later? Isn't it? That is a fear. That is a phobia people have. This is because of two reasons. One is that you have 10th pass guy who can also join insurance industry in rural areas and an agent, and they also tell you that he represents Tata AIG or Bharti AXA. You won't say he's an agent. He is from Tata AIG. You are MBA or PhD, you will also say I'm from Tata AIG. Right? So whenever you don't have any entry barrier to a profession, everybody wants to be exclusive in life. Why do you need to join? People have very high preference for P's and all, private equities. Why? When somebody says I work with a P, then first thing you think that he must be from top 5 institute of this country or abroad. Isn't it? Because that is the pre-qualification. Right? But in insurance industry, it's very inclusive, everybody can work. But that should not be a dysfunction. That should not bother you. You see from other point of view, which other words in this acronym you take. M is market. Huge market. As Bharat told you, we are the most underinsured economy in this world. Am I right? Huge potential. These are the 4 risks. I don't know how many companies have got these products. It can be developed, it can be priced in 2 days, and 3rd day you can lose this. The problem with this industry now, if you are tracking life insurance industry, the problem is that products are still sold as a commodity. There is no innovation in the market, there is no innovation in the product, there is no innovation in the distribution channel. Tomorrow, any company can take up this product. Like bank guarantee or unemployment risk, there is no policy. Right? I can create. I know the probability of unemployment after placement which ends is not more than 15%. I can charge premium, I can sell it to you, and I know my company will be profitable if I sell this policy to you. Right? So if you people don't join, you MBAs from institute like IMT, if you don't join that, the industry needs you was. If you don't join, how this innovation will come? How can you buy these products? These products will never be available. It will always be term plan, endowment plan, and unit, and a lot of this selling, and agents will be around you to buy a policy. Right? So
Huge market, huge opportunity. And huge. The penetration ratio in US will be around 6-7%, right? We have around 3% gap. 3 to 4% gap, I think.
That's 67%, no? 14 trillion.
The absolute number in percentage computation. Right? A huge, right? So we have discussed a stable industry. It's very inclusive, right? Take it positively. No entry barrier means you put it inclusive. M is market. B is what? Personal satisfaction. You know, I'm working for last 17 years. Every 3 years I used to change my profession. This is the only profession, or this is the only industry where I'm there for last 7-8 years. Self-employed. I get a lot of satisfaction. Just imagine somebody comes to you, please help me. Which product should I buy? I have these liability, I have bank credit, I have the fear of not getting a job from the campus, I have this, life risk, what should I do? You will feel happy. I read it somewhere that 2 things which can bring happiness in life. That is called 2 C's of life, creativity and contribution. You create something and you contribute somewhere, you will feel happy. Right? If you want to be happy, just do those 2 things. Every day you create something. Every day you contribute something to somebody else's life. The insurance industry gives that opportunity every day. Right? Next is what? L. Learning. There are around 10 courses, 10 to 15 courses which you can do along with your job. You have Roma, 5-6 courses. You have Chartered Insurance, what is that? CPCUP. So along with that, you can do a lot of studies, and I think all of them, they have study incentive program. Right, it used to get very handsome increment when you pass an exam.
These are international certifications that go along with your academic degree and make you much more solid and deep in your qualifications.
In actuarial also, you used to get one lump sum when you pass a paper, and then you get salary increment also. No other industry will give you that. And what is the logic? Why they give? Because need of your target customer is changing. If you don't keep updated, you cannot develop a product which will address their risks. Right? So that learning part is there. So career choose करने के लिए you need that simple is skill, interest. What else? Motivation, personality, learning, ethical standards. Right? So first step you have done. Right? Next, do the mapping with insurance industry. What is that? As stable. Next, inclusive. Third, market, huge market potential. Fourth, personal satisfaction. Next, learning. And E is what? Huh?
Earning.
Yes. You must have seen, you go to this Google and find out the most respected job in US, highest paid job in US, you will find insurance professionals there. That's right. Very good earning. The reason is that this industry requires a lot of experts and a lot of generalists who can think about market. You have technical guys, underwriters are there, claims editors are there, but you don't have people who can really integrate everything. Managers. This industry requires managers. If you see the current state of the industry, it's a failure of the companies. Regulatory environment changes, that's very dynamic everywhere. Right? But you should have a management plan, a strategy to address those changes. How can you not incorporate a possible change in regulatory environment? How can you imagine that regulatory environment will remain the same for next 50 years? That's a failure on the strategy part. Right? When you do modeling, you can also factor in qualitative factor right? Taking 0, 1 or any other numerical value you can assign to a quality to calculate, right?
So Gopal, I think a quick segue into the last E, the earning part, because obviously we all have noble reasons for doing education, but at the end of the day, money is important. So what are some of the ways that you can earn money in the insurance industry? I think to jump to one of the slides, which will tell you something about what are some of the roles that you can do in insurance. Talk about earning. At times, insurance agents, however qualified they are, can earn more, much more than people in the industry. And it works in both ways. Because if they are successful, who is one of the biggest life insurance agent in the country? Does anybody know that? One of the biggest? What's her name? She is Amitabh Bachchan's daughter's sister-in-law, Ritunanda. Now at the Amla family. Mother-in-law.
Something in law. Something legally related. Something in law. Acceptable to law.
She is one of the most successful and wealthiest insurance agent in the country. Look her up. She runs her own insurance agency because she earns millions of rupees, crores of rupees, right? Anyway, so insurance research and training, so you have all of these. Then, what are some of the areas that or companies that provide employability to insurance professionals, people who study insurance jobs? One is obviously the life insurance companies like LIC, ICICI Prudential, Bajaj Allianz, etc. Then you have the general insurance companies like Tata AIG General, Health would be Apollo Medical Insurance. Insurance intermediaries, the entities that sit between the insurance company and the customers. These include your brokers, your agents, corporate agents, banks. Axis Bank has 1,800 branches all over the country. One of the biggest seller of insurance. ICICI Bank, one of the biggest seller. SBI, fast moving up the ranks to sell insurance products. Direct marketers. Policybazaar.com, how many of you know it? Quite a few of you. They're quite visible out there, right? What are they? An insurance direct marketer. Third-party administrators. These are companies that help in the policy subscription and claim servicing for health when it comes to health insurance, called EPAs. Right? They are enablers for the policy administration and claim servicing when it comes to health insurance. Insurance BPOs, software companies, earnings, not just limited to domestic. You have life general insurance companies that are mostly joint venture of international companies. Apart from that, you have the Infosys, the Emphasis, the Accentures, the Deloittes, all of these companies that service a lot of international projects for insurance companies worldwide. So the opportunity to not just have an earning over here, but also have careers outside. Just want to do that. Then you have additional management companies. Now I think recruiters who have along all of these, which kind of fit along the career profiles.
Correct. How many life insurance and general insurance companies we have in India? Private sector. Again, number, not name. 24 each roughly. So we have roughly 48, 50 odd insurance companies in India. And each of the companies, how many number of average employees they will be here. Leaving aside their sales force. Around 3,000 average number, to say 4,000. So in India, we have, in the private sector, we have roughly 1.5 lakhs to 2 lakhs hardcore insurance professional in the private sector. How much will be the say percentage of MBAs out of those 1.5 to 2 lakhs professional insurance professionals? Any guess? By guess?
20%.
20%. Right? So in the private sector, insurance companies, roughly 40,000 MBAs are working right now, who are into every kind of field which Bharat mentioned last time. So, last slide has function. So if you look, there are MBAs in the underwriting. Underwriting department is one such department where you will find people from almost all the professions. So you will find engineers, you will find doctors, you will find PhDs, you will find MBAs, you will find chartered accountants, you will find each and every profession which exists on this world. That profession will be there in the underwriting department of any of the insurance companies. Right? So that is one of the underwriting sector you can say is the nerve center of an insurance company, which is very critical function of an insurance company. So in that department, around 30 to 40% are MBAs. If you look at claim processing or the adjuster, it is also claim underwriting. So when a claim comes to an insurance company, there are underwriters who assess the loss. So that requires the capability to assess the loss, to understand the loss. So in every insurance company, there are around say 25-30% of that department consists of MBAs. Operations, policy servicing. Operation is one of the main departments wherein almost every work is done right after selling of the policy, like policy setup, policy administration, claim administration, and other things. That department generally consists of around say 50-20% of the MBAs. Then comes the actuarial department. Now, actuary is a specialist field which is a bit different from MBAs, but sometimes what companies do, they recruit MBAs from the management institute, and then they incentivize those students to take actuarial courses. Right? So I know there are many companies who take MBAs in their actuarial department and succeed, and after 5 or 6 years they become actuary. And you know, if you do any of the research, actuarial is one of the highest paid profession in this world. Right? I am not selling actuarial over here. I am a member of the council of my institute also. But actuarial is one of the fields where now MBAs are also coming into, because companies are recruiting MBAs and then they incentivize them to do the actuarial. Risk management. So what is a risk manager? Risk manager is like you have to identify the risk and then assess that risk and then do your calculations on mitigation of the risk, migration of the risk, transferring of the risk. Right? So that's a very critical area of any company, not only insurance company, of any company. Right? Similarly, all these areas, if you count that, so there are around 30 to 40,000 MBAs who are working in the insurance company, in the private sector insurance companies right now. I am not counting LIC, I am not counting 4 general insurance PSUs, I am not counting GICs. But there are 30 to 40,000 MBAs who are working in the private sector insurance. Next slide. Insurance intermediaries, brokers, corporate agents, banks, direct marketers. Overseas, what has happened that brokers are like that, they also help companies in designing of the policies. Firstly, identifying of the customer needs and then designing of the policies. So same trend is also picking up in India. So like if there is a broker, he can easily find out that there will be a need of the unemployment insurance in India, which currently no company is offering. Even my company is not offering. Right? So like if you are a empowered MBA, if you understand the market, if you are working in an insurance company, you can quickly grab up the opportunities which can be in the market. You can go to your actuarial department and price that product and simply launch it in the market. Right? So it's a field like so insurance company like insurance brokers, insurance company, that is a field wherein if you are very smart, you can identify the need in the market and sell it. So weather insurance, it was nowhere in India. Some 3 or 4 years back, somebody from ICICI Lombard captured that area. Weather insurance is a combination of the insurance and the options, and they launched it. And currently ICICI Lombard is gathering a premium of around 400 crore from the market, only from that product, because other companies could not capture. Infosys, Wipro, Cognizant, TCS. They have almost every possible insurance company in the world as their clients. They are developing, maintaining software for them. So they have an insurance department which is a separate department, and they need people to understand insurance so that those people can understand them in helping the development and the maintenance of their software. I will add one more line over here, which is the in the corporate world, there are insurance professionals, there are risk managers in every corporate, because corporates need to understand their insurance needs. Right? So there are high-profile department in every corporate, which is a very small department, but the brightest of the people are put into that department because they need to understand all the company's operation, they need to understand all the risk which that company is having, they need to understand how much they should insure, they need to put up a value on the risk which those companies are having. So brightest of the people in every company are put into that department, which is generally risk management or the insurance department of every corporate. So you put any corporate, Reliance has got a 100 people team which understand all the risk which Reliance Industries is having. Similarly, every other corporate has got one department which are the brightest of the people in that corporate.
So on that point, if you can imagine just two lines, a vertical and a horizontal line. Careers in insurance lie on the vertical line, and I'll explain to you what that means. They're also on the horizontal line. On the vertical line, you have the insurance companies themselves or the insurance intermediaries like the agents, the banks, etc. So they lie on the vertical line, you have careers across different functions. But they also are on the horizontal line, and that becomes very extremely important to understand. Let's take an example of a software company. And having interacted with many of these companies, senior people in these companies and all that, it's a fact that they have abundance of people with software programming skills. But they lack the people who have the software programming skills with the domain knowledge. They struggle. It's a huge opportunity. So if you want to be skilled, understand about insurance, and go back to your background or whatever you have, engineering, commerce, etc., it's actually an icing on the cake. So you cannot just get into a job of doing programming or management or so on, but then you have the domain background back to understand what insurance is all about. And that's the horizontal, which you should not ignore. So if, Professor Chatterjee mentioned about differentiation. How do you differentiate? You differentiate by having certain additional knowledge and skills which the run-of-the-mill category person does not have. And this is what you get. So you get on the vertical when it comes to the insurance industry. You get on the horizontal. You have software companies, you have KPOs, you have, even the person who did his internship at duty free. Duty free would have to take insurance on his assets. Whatever they sell, the fragments, bottles, whatever, right? If they have to basically cover losses against their premise of shop at the international airport, without insurance, GVK, the operator of international airport, will not provide them the space to set up shop over there because they want to be covered. So insurance is a horizontal that kind of flows across. So I just wanted to make that distinction in terms of how would knowing about the domain enable you to position yourself at differentiators?
Right. Just one small question. How many of you are aware that your parents have got your home insured? Insured or not insured? Not insured. So if you do a survey anywhere in India, you will find that 95% of the houses of so-called educated people are not insured. Right? Now, can you put a probability of a earthquake which can damage your house in that area? Obviously, it is not zero anywhere in the country because India lies in the zone 4, like most of the India lies in the zone 4 of the earthquake-prone areas. Right? So, nowhere in India probability of earthquake which can damage a house is zero. Right? So, at least there is some probability that your parental house can be damaged by earthquake, while people don't have the insurance cover for that. Right? So, that's the domain knowledge. Okay. Now, does your father have your car insured or not? Why? Any cars are, yeah. Why it is insured? It is mandatory, right? First it is mandatory. So India third party insurance is mandatory. Second reason? Higher probability of accident as compared to your house. So that's why your car is insured while your house is not insured.
The third party insurance is important.
Is compulsory. Okay. Any other reason? So I have got two reasons that car is insured because third party insurance is mandatory. That's why you are insuring your car. Second reason that there is a higher possibility of an accident with a car as compared to your house being damaged. Right? Now, if your car is damaged, how much will be the claim which you will claim from an insurance company on the average? 20, 30, 40, 50,000. But if your house is damaged, then right? So which is more important, house or car? House is more important and your house is not insured. Right? So this is the kind of domain knowledge which should be intrinsic to your MBA courses also, that you should understand what's the meaning of risk, what are the risks, how to measure the risk and how to transfer the risk.
Okay, so I'm sure you cannot name any industry or any person who has not come across insurance. Any company, they have insurance division or they outsource insurance division. How much time we have?
So how about we do this? Why don't we basically, we can continue talking like this, but why don't you ask us questions that are in your minds? Anything. There's nothing like a stupid question. So ask us questions that are in your mind and we'll address them.
Answers can be stupid. Questions are correct.
If somebody can take the mic, that will be so others can also hear that. Yeah, that's the beauty thing.
Please, Harris.
So please, open up, ask any question that you have, which will help us understand what you've understood and
Yeah.
over here. Sorry, the name. Just tell your quick name and then your question.
Mr. Governor, I have to ask, people who suppose a company comes over here, why should he recruit me as an actuary? Rather than going to a person who has a degree from IIM, instead of actually institute and all those things, who has done a degree of PM and any statistics. Why should he recruit him? Because he is doing industry.
You know how many actuaries are in India? And then appointed actually after that? Okay, so as we discussed, every insurance company has got around 3,000 on the average as the employees get. Out of that, 20% are MBAs, so every insurance company has got around 500 to 600 employees. MBAs, how many actuaries every company has? And that was 2 or 3, right? So a company will come to you not for actuarial as such. A company can recruit for the actuarial department from MBAs, that is another thing, but they will then ask them to qualify as actuary. But a company will come to you for operation, for product identification, for underwriting, for claims, and for other departments, not for actuary. So we are not talking here that you can become that all of you can become an actuary. Every year we pass only 3 or 4 students as actuaries. So if 80 of you are thinking of taking actuarial courses and qualifying as actuary, my salary will drop down to half. Right? That's not possible. Right? So at the most, if you put the probability number, at the most one of you can qualify as actuary if all of you will be starting doing actuarial job. So just forget about actuarial right now. Right now we are talking about MBA's jobs in the insurance companies. So companies will come to you to recruit you as MBAs in their other department, not in the actuarial department.
What's your background?
Take it.
You said we have an engineering degree. Okay, so one second is right in terms of there will not be force of companies to hire actuaries, but if you have a deep desire to become an actuary, you can actually, there are 15 to 16 papers, 15 papers to pass, to clear, before you can become an actuary. And
there are a lot of other opportunities. I tell you a simple diagram. You just remember this diagram. Where are the opportunities? Because I have heard that your mind remembers the diagram, images very clearly. Right? This E is environment, business environment. Any business operates in environment. Right? That includes your competitors, industry, economy. Right? Then this S stands for specifying the problem. Problem is what? Credit insurance, unemployment insurance, mortality risk, these are the problems. Identify the problem. What are the problems? Right? Then you develop the solution. Develop the solution means what? You provide the solution, do the underwriting, develop the product, do the pricing, do the market launch, do the market test. Right? Everything will come under developing the solution. And then you monitor that solution, whether that solution is right or not. What is the investment rate? If you have guaranteed some rate on your investment, whether you are able to meet that guaranteed rate or not, accordingly you, withdraw that product or you change that product, right? So this is monitoring. That's why you have two-sided arrow. Monitors, you might come back to team. Then you have this professionalism and ethics. As an MBA, where can you come? You can come here. You can do market research. You can do market intelligence. You can be a market expert. You can do economic analysis. You can identify product trends, economic trends. Right? You can identify market strategy of your competitors. Right? Where is the role for you? Then specifying the problem. Who can specify the problem? Who understands the market? How do you understand the market? Right? Like employment insurance, non-employment based credit and all that. You have specify the problem. You understand the risk profile of that customer. Whether that customer is an individual or a company. Right? You identify all the risks, you categorize them and develop a solution. Then what is the problem and what are the solutions required? Right? That is also here also you be required. Product management is area. But a lot of MBAs are working in non-life and non-life companies. Product management basically, it manages the product life cycle of a product since launch to withdrawal. Right? What are the features should be there in that product? How competitive is that product? How to enhance the productivity or the competitiveness of that product? Right? That kind of thing. Then developing the solution. Here also you have role, underwriting. Those who are engineers can join underwriting team. Underwriting team means what? What do they do? Saket told you. Right? Underwriting means you assess the risk, you quantify the risk, and then actually price it and sales guy sell it. Right? So here also you are required. Here also you have actually, at the total number of employees in this sector, number of actuaries is very less. Don't focus on that. Right? You see the other opportunities which are available in the industry. Right? Then you can be required here also. Monitoring, right? You do the strategic planning, you can join investments. Those who have done CA and all, or specializing in finance, you can be money managers, you can be fund managers for insurance. You know the AUM of insurance company is much more than the AUM of mutual fund. Mutual fund is too old. Insurance company started, it opened in 2001. You see the asset under management of insurance companies, life companies, and AUM under unit and mutual fund. Much more than the mutual funds AUM. Right? So you can be investment manager. Right? You can do, they have now in-house trading platforms also. If you like equity market, you can be research analyst in a company. Now as per the recent guidelines, insurance companies cannot outsource research. When they started, they used to have this tie-up with a research company. Now, they had around 5-6 research analysts, all from IMT research analysts, equity research. Right? Then research, equity research, then investment tracking is also important. Right? How your funds are performing. Right? Then you have professionalism. Here comes the compliance, internal audit. Those who have done CA Even non-CAs can also join insurance. There is no criteria that you should be chartered accountants. Right? Is that clear? So, lot of opportunities. Don't restrict yourself to actuarial. You can do anything. Okay? Next question. Yeah.
Talking about the insurance sector, there's a general notion that the jobs in the insurance sector are usually the most toughest and the most difficult of them all, because it being so that way it being so stable and all the qualities that you mentioned. I would, me being a fresher, I would like to just know why is there such a notion about it? I mean, why do people prefer other sectors over insurance sectors?
Have you seen insurance document? It's written, insurance is a subject matter of solicitation. Have you read it? Right? What is the meaning of solicitation? It should be asked for. Means you should buy. Right? You should not push insurance product. There should be pull. Pull should be created by creating awareness. But what is happening? You ask any agent, insurance is never bought. It is sold. You know why? There are two reasons. What you are selling is intangible. Right? Selling intangibles will be difficult. Right? And second thing, in a country like India, we have a lot of financial responsibility. Right? So the priority of ensuring that risk may be down in the priority. Right? पहले आप खाना खाओगे ना boss. You need to eat. Then insurance. But things are changing. Our financial savings will improve. Our income will improve. Right? A lot of financial surplus. Where this money will go? Master theory. What is that? Simple boss. It's easy to sell vada pav. Isn't it? Insurance will always be difficult or more difficult than vada pav. Because it is down on the human needs. And it is intangible. What you are giving, a piece of paper, which he will not use, he is authorizing somebody else to use. Right? So these are the factors. It is difficult to sell, but it's very easy to sell. When you really talk the language of the customer, when you really understand the need of the customer, and you sell it right. If you sell it wrong, it will be difficult. If you sell it right, it will be very easy.
Have you answered whether to answer your question? Insurance job you will find at the both end of the continent. So if you want to do very simple jobs like if you want to do simply data entry, right? So your name, your age, and your sum assured. That's the easiest possible, right? But if you want to do pricing of the weather insurance at Amarna, right? That is the most of the job now, right? So insurance job will be at the say from easiest. It can be the toughest. It all depends on where you want to land yourself.
And insurance industry is one such industry where the potential of job rotation is the highest. It's the highest. You can next day you can do something else. Right? Next day you want to move to underwriting, they will be very happy to do that.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. So as a fresher, obviously you complete 2 years of your MBA after your undergrad. So depending on what your sweet spots or your strengths are, identify the area within the insurance industry where you can be an immediate fit because of your strengths, even though you don't have work experience to show. Now, it could be because of your maybe numbers, you can do analysis, the monitoring that you mentioned about, or market research, or the environment side and all that. And then once you get into the industry, if you realize that this is the industry for you and you land in your job of sweet spot, establish yourself. And Gopal rightly said the opportunity of job rotation is extremely high. I started out in claims, then moved into operations, then did product management, and then general management. Right? So and then I think it's important because at the end of it, it gives you a very good perspective of the entire ecosystem of the insurance company. And if you become better at understanding the ecosystem of the insurance company, you become better.
And then in the insurance, there is no divide that you can move from life insurance to the general insurance. You can always move from life to the general to the health. And every insurance company will be having 20 odd departments. And then there are new products which are coming into annuities. You can move into annuity management. So in the insurance, the scope of doing different jobs is immense.
So I think as a you can always have a block that I heard before coming over here that many of you are freshers. So as a fresher, you would have that nagging you down. Okay, I don't have work experience. If I, let's say, take this course on insurance, will I land a job? But then it's not that companies over here do not come and hire freshers at all. They do hire freshers. For what reason? Right? So similarly, I think it's for you to establish your competency in an area that you think can be better at because of your maybe undergraduate, etc., and doing well in that area of studies over here. And therefore you are able to impress upon the interviewer saying that even though I don't have the work experience, I understand. If you wow your interviewer, he's not going to deny you because you don't have work experience. Yes, he'll say that, okay, you need to be great, you need to be made understood of what the domain is, but you already have had a knowledge of the insurance sector instead of not knowing anything about the insurance sector.
What you have done till date is your book value, what there is in your intrinsic worth. Right? Book value is not the only factor which basically drives share price, isn't it? And that's book value, and that can be manipulated. And it's accounting.
Just to let you know that most senior professionals in the insurance industry will not agree to it, but most of the new products which have been launched in the marketplace have generally been conceived by the youngsters.
Yeah,
right? Because they come with a fresh mind.
One of the most popular products in the US is cybersecurity insurance. Do you think a 60-year-old, no offense to 60-year-olds, but do you think a 60-year-old really can come up with a cybersecurity product? He can definitely guide and give advice, but the cybersecurity product can come up by a youngster who would have probably been on Facebook or social media and got his identity back, and therefore his bank account got wiped out.
That's the last question now, right? Okay. Yeah, last question.
Future prospects once one gets into the insurance sector, like what is the growth and all. And it is seen that exponential growth is seen once you are in the later part of the insurance sector. But initial stage, it's like what I've seen is, I don't know how much it's true or not, but the initial package, whatever the starting salary is, as compared to other sectors, insurance sector offers very less. So what is the basic reason behind it, and why might be one of the reasons why people tend to think, as a fresher, might tend to think why for such a low salary should I get into insurance sector? Because accepted the fact is like exponential growth is there towards the end. Like as one goes up the ladder.
What you have said, you have seen, you have not seen, you have heard.
So like
I said that you have seen that starting salary.
So average salary for graduating MBA?
Sorry, sir.
What is the average salary?
5.5 to 6.
I'm sorry?
5.5 to 6.
5.5 to 6.
6. This time it was 6.5.
What is the average?
6.8.
What is the lowest? Any idea? Yeah, I mean, it's the ballpark. I don't know what statistic or where you heard this from.
I think what you have is wrong information, right? You recheck your facts. That is not true. We have recruited many freshers in our industry when we are working in those companies. Starting salary, I think 4.5.
Yeah.
That is basically 4 years back. You were just having 1 year experience, right? 4.5.
So I think probably the data must be coming from our MBAs because there's a lot of workforce in the insurance industry that are low skilled, not MBAs, and therefore you will get at maybe 8,000 or 10,000 more.
It also depends which part of the chain you are in, right? It also depends on that. Right? What you are doing, investments, very good salary, actuarial, very good salary, underwriting, very good salary, right? But if you start in sales, right, initial salary may be less, but there are other sales incentives. So it depends where you are joining, which company. If you join a public sector, non-life company, starting salary will be somewhere around 20,000-25,000.
I just want, there are about 12 to 15 ladies in this room. I don't think anyone has asked a question. the industry is actually very friendly to women as well. No kidding. I mean, financial services is one of the most friendly industries for women. So I think I want at least one question from women. But the point that I want to argue is, thank you, is that it is extremely friendly to women. The gender diversity is quite good. Yes.
So you mentioned about skill sets. So speaking from a marketer's perspective, what kind of skill sets should you possess to make a career in insurance?
Okay, I can start with that. I mean, the skill sets that you would want is, now marketing is a broad spectrum. So you can look at market research, in which case what's your background before this? Humanities, great. I mean, today there is a growing field of research beyond the traditional primary and secondary research to get into psychographic analysis, to do sociological research. In one of the projects that I'm currently leading, I'm still a consultant for Tata AIG. I'm doing a project for health insurance for Tata AIG, where we have done an extensive consumer research of what makes consumers buy health insurance product. Right? So we have gone to ethnographic studies. We have gone into research surveys, traditional research surveys. We have put people in observe them. Now you would imagine that insurance companies would do that? Do all of that. I think it's a progressive person. So I think for your background, from a marketing standpoint, market research is one area, it's a skill set. Another is if you are good with looking at streams of data. Big data analytics is a big thing, and it applies very much in the insurance world as well, from a marketing standpoint as well. Not just being a number job, but also looking at qualitative research. Consumer movement analysis. A lot of companies, insurance companies today, want to get their customer satisfaction up. How do they do that? They will do that by looking at trends, social media trends, or telephonic survey trends, etc., etc. Then you have the traditional marketing communications, where you see a lot of ads out there, over-the-line display ads, you have a lot of below-the-line targeted messaging, marketing, that is the messaging that is going out to customers or the intermediaries, the other marketing communications. Insurance companies, most of the jobs and roles are within insurance companies. Yes, there are companies, specialized companies, smaller companies, that work alongside the insurance companies, but then within the insurance companies you have to have a knowledge. If you don't know what you want to get as an ultimate object, it makes you even better if you know exactly what you want. Right? So there's a lot of scope for marketing. Answer your question?
Generally, if you look at stable career, stable money and stable job is in two fields. One is management of the risk, secondly management of the risk. Right, so insurance are the biggest risk manager in the world, and insurance will definitely give everybody a very stable career, very stable money, and very stable.
Insights on the difference between jobs and career, how to choose the right career, like by simple methods. Then ways to earn money in insurance sectors, such as career opportunities such as underwriting, claims processing, operations, servicing, actuary, risk managers, etc. And also the company types such as the LIC, general insurance companies, insurance intermediaries, third-party administrators, insurance BPOs, pension fund managing company, etc. Thank you all, sir. And before we close the session, I'd like to call upon Professor T.K. Chatterjee to hand over the momentum to the
Thank you, sir.
Just let me conclude fast because I have very and how much you are excited, but I am more than excited, and these questions coming from the apprehensions like little being salary being on the lower side and all, last I'm just addressing. Thing is, see, a company comes and recruits 2 guys and both are paid 10 lakhs. An insurance company comes and recruits 20 guys and all are paid 4.5 lakhs. Now thing is, end of the day, 5 years down the line, those 2 will grow, and out of this 20, again the filtration happens. Because I have worked in industry and I have got many friends working in insurance, I know it closely. I was just discussing with the insurance industry, I know closely. That's why I try to inspire some of you to go and see the branch manager of Birla Sun Life here. Know him personally, what kind of lifestyle he leads. Does he drive a Maruti 800 or does he drive a Honda City? You go and see. Because I have seen, I have got my friends, I am spending time with them, I know how much money they have. So I did not get convinced by any of this, though I was more than that by their talk, but I am kind of person who has seen it. I don't read, I watch. Now, the point I was trying to drive home is, if you want to be on high salary or make money, prove yourself. You need to prove yourself. And insurance, very fast growth happens. The moment, because if you land in a job of 10 lakhs per month, 10 lakhs per annum from the campus, and if you don't stand up to the expectation of that company, by any chance, which happens, don't get afraid. Companies take easily, they sack very easily. They lose their jobs, those guys lose their job. So give yourself time for that journey. If you are worth 10 lakhs per annum, you will get it. Either by accident from the campus, but if it happens by accident, it is very sure that within a year's time you are back to the market with your CV. But if you deserve your 10 lakhs, today or tomorrow, you will get it. It's only a matter of within 6 months, 1 year time. Then even so. Okay, and I have no words to thank this gentleman because I was absolutely sad. And this trio, this dangerous trio, it really, held all of you sad. So, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Bottom line is get the point and enroll yourself, because ultimately action will matter, not talk.